So now remember the member of the stock exchange have to pay fee. They have to pay fee to the stock exchange because fee is one of income of the stock exchange. So if a securities company become a member of the stock exchange, they have to pay fee every year or annual. Okay. Okay, so now it is the second part of this chapter. Listing on the exchange. In Vietnamese we call niêm yết. In Vietnamese we call niêm yết. So it is the second part of this chapter, and you will read it at home. Okay. So in the first slide, you could see the definition of listing. What is listing? Okay. And some type of stock listed on the securities exchange. They could be stock, they could be bonds, they could be convertible bonds, or they could be the derivatives. So many types of the securities could be listed on the stock exchange, on the securities exchange. Okay, it is the meanings or the significance of listing on a stock exchange. Okay, and of course you will have some type of listing here in the next slide. Now about this slide, there are 4 types of listing you have to understand. Firstly, we have initial listing. Second one, we have the additional listing. Next one is the listing enters, and the last one is the cross listing. So what is the initial listing? What is the additional listing? What is the listing enters, and what is the cross listing? You will read it at home and find out the example for each type of listing here. In order to understand it, you should find out the example. So how to find out the example? You will go to the internet and find out some companies and some case. Okay, and use it as an example. Now, for example, it is the first type of listing in the initial listing. What is the initial listing? It is the first time the company shares have been listed. It's very easy. It's the first time that the company share have been listed. So find out the example. In the slide, I already provide the example for you. However, you should find out other example to understand more. So it is the example of initial listing in Vietnam. We have the case of PCB. Now read this case. It's in the Vietnamese, right? Now, so in this case, you see Vietcombank. Now, in the past, if you remember, Vietcombank is a state-owned bank. The government hold 100% capital in Vietcombank, right? So you see Vietcombank did IPO. Do you remember the term IPO? IPO. What is IPO? Remember? What is IPO? We learn in the chapter 3.
là cổ phiếu lần đầu tiên phát hành.
Yeah, it's the initial public offering. So you see Vietcombank did IPO in 2007. It is the first time that the stock of Vietcombank are sold to the public. And after 2007, in 2009, you could see the information here. After this IPO in 2007, and in 2009, Vietcombank decided to list their stock on Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange. So it is the first time the stock of Vietcombank was listed on the stock exchange. So we call it is initial listing. Initial listing means the first time the stock of the company listed on the stock exchange. So an example of the initial listing, and when you read it at home, try to find down other example. Okay. In fact, now another type of listing is the additional listing. And what is the additional listing? What is the additional listing? So additional listing means when the company issue new share. Now, when the company have already have stock listed on the stock exchange, but now they issue more new share and they decide to list this new share on the stock exchange. So we call it is the additional listing. Now in Vietnamese we call initial listing niêm yết lần đầu, and the additional listing in niêm yết bổ sung. It means the company already have the stock listed on the stock exchange, but now they issue more new share to raise capital, and then they decide to list more stock on the exchange. So the example of the additional listing here, yeah, we continue the case of Vietcombank, right? We continue the case of Vietcombank. So you could see in 2009, now come back to this example. Vietcombank list their shares for the first time in 2009, and then in 2012, after issuing new share, they continue to list their stock on Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange. Yeah, so it is called additional listing. It means they list more new share on the stock exchange. In the first time, they list only how many shares here? Now, in the first time, they list only 112 million shares. So it is the number of shares Vietcombank decide to list at the first time. It's more than 112 million. Okay, and in 2012, they list more. How many shares? Yeah, the number of shares they decide to list more is 1,787 million shares. Okay, so it is the number of share Vietcombank decide to list more. So it is called additional listing. The example. So you should write down more example in fact when you read this part. Okay. And what else? Now next one is the listing answer. Now what is the listing answers? When there are any change in names, face value, or quantities of share, the company could change their listings on the exchange. So it is called listing answer. So we have one example of listing answers here. It is case of Saigon Hotel, your stock company here. They decide to delist. What is delist? Delist. It means they don't list their stock on one stock exchange anymore. So it is called delist. Before, in the past, they list their share on the stock exchange, but now they decide to delete it. Okay, so in this case, Saigon Hotel, your stock company, decide to delist their stock on Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange in order to list again on Hanoi Stock Exchange. Yeah, it is the reason the company transfer from listing on Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange to Hanoi Stock Exchange. So it is called listing answer. If there is any change in the face value, the number of the stock, or the name of the stock, or the stock exchange, so we call it is listing answer. Okay, and what else? The last one, we have the cross listing. Now, what is the cross listing? Cross listing means one company list and traded in other foreign stock exchange. Now, for example, if we have one Vietnamese company, they list their securities on Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange and Hanoi Stock Exchange. However, they also list their stock on Singapore Stock Exchange or Malaysia Stock Exchange or American Stock Exchange, for example, at the same time. So it is called cross listing. It means list and traded in other foreign stock exchange. Vietnamese company listed on New York Stock Exchange, or Vietnamese company listed on Singapore Stock Exchange. So we call it is a cross listing. And one more, the last one, we have the backdoor listing. Now, what is the backdoor listing? It's a very special case of the cross listing here. It's a special case of the cross listing. Okay, so what is the backdoor listing? Now, it's related to the merge and acquisition activities. Do you know these activities? M&A. Do you know this one? Is it merge and acquisitions activities? Do you know this one? M&A activities.
Mua lại.
Yeah, mua bán sát nhập đấy, mua bán sát nhập doanh nghiệp. So backdoor listing related to the M&A activities. Now, when a foreign company wants to list in the domestic, in the stock exchange of one countries, of another countries, so they could buy a company who listed their shares on the stock exchange, and then they change the name of the company. So this is a backdoor listing. Now, for example, I have a company A. It is the Vietnamese company in Vietnam. Okay, and this company wants to list on New York Stock Exchange, for example. Okay, so one way they could do is company A will buy company B. Now, company B is the company that's already listed on New York Stock Exchange. So when company A wants to list on the New York Stock Exchange, one way they could do is buy company B. They do M&A, mergers and acquisitions. Yeah, they buy company B. So when a company A buy company B, they are one. They become one company. So after that, they change the name. They change the name on the New York Stock Exchange. It's not company A already. They could change to company A, the name of the company A. They use listing alter to change the name of the stock. Here, B change to A. Okay, so it's called backdoor listing. It's related to the M&A activities. When you want to, you are foreign company, when you want to list their stock on the stock exchange, on foreign stock exchange. So you could find down one company listed on this stock exchange and you could buy them, or you could do merge and acquisitions, and then you change the name listed on the foreign stock exchange. So it is called backdoor listing. You got it? Why no one will react? Do you understand? Nào, cái chỗ này là cô đang nói về cái backdoor listing này, nó hơi đặc biệt một chút. Này là liên quan đến cái gì nhỉ? Liên quan đến cái hoạt động là M&A, mua bán sát nhập. Thế thì cái này là như thế nào? Ví dụ như là một cái công ty Việt Nam nhé, các bạn muốn niêm yết ở trên thị trường chứng khoán New York, nhưng mà nếu mà để đi mà theo đường thẳng ấy, tức là để đáp ứng được cái điều kiện niêm yết ở trên thị trường này nó sẽ khó. Thế thì ở đây nó có một cái kiểu đó là như này. Họ có thể sẽ tìm một cái công ty, tất nhiên là công ty này nó cũng phải đồng ý cho cái họ làm cái việc đó. Ví dụ họ tìm được một cái công ty B nào đấy đang niêm yết ở trên New York Stock Exchange. Sau đó là gì ạ? Công ty họ thỏa thuận và công ty B đồng ý. Hai công ty này thực hiện gì ạ? Mua bán sát nhập, tức là thực hiện có thể là công ty A mua công ty B. Thế đến lúc này công ty B á, thì đã bị mua ở công ty A rồi. Thế lúc này là sau khi mà họ mua xong ấy, thì lúc này hai công ty trở thành một, đúng không ạ? Thế khi mà trở thành một như vậy thì cái vì công ty B đã niêm yết sẵn ở trên sở rồi mà. Lúc này họ chỉ việc làm một cái việc đó là gì thôi ạ? Đổi cái tên niêm yết. Thì cái đấy nó gọi là gì ạ? Như vậy là các bạn thấy là cái đổi cái tên niêm yết của công ty B thành tên của công ty A. Như vậy công ty A đã được niêm yết ở trên sở giao dịch chứng khoán New York. Cái đấy nó gọi là backdoor listing. Đúng không ạ? Nó là một cái trường hợp mà khá là đặc biệt của cross listing niêm yết chéo. Tức là họ làm cái cách là thông qua M&A, thông qua cái mua bán rất nhiều doanh nghiệp để họ niêm yết ở trên sở dịch chứng khoán nước ngoài. Tất nhiên là ở đấy nó phải có cái dịch vụ, cung cấp cái dịch vụ và bán cái vỏ niêm yết này. Công ty B này là cái công ty mà họ chuyên bán vỏ niêm yết thì họ mới làm được việc đó. Chứ bây giờ tự dưng mà bảo mua được một cái công ty mà họ không có ý định bán ở trên thị trường nước ngoài đâu phải dễ đâu, đúng không ạ? Đó, thì cái đấy nó gọi là backdoor listing. Đó. Thế thì đây là các cái loại niêm yết thì các bạn sẽ đọc thêm các cái khái niệm về các cái loại niêm yết này. Ok, và tìm thêm ví dụ ở trong slide cô cũng đã cung cấp ví dụ cho các bạn rồi, nhưng mà các bạn sẽ khi mà mình đọc mình có thể tìm thêm ví dụ trong thực tế, các bạn có thể search ở trên internet. Ok.
Yes.
And next one we have the listing standard. It is a listing requirement. Now, not all securities could be listed on the stock exchange. The company have to satisfy the listing standard or listing requirement. Different stock exchange will have different listing standard. For example, Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange have their own listing standard, and Hanoi Stock Exchange have their own listing standard. And the listing standard of Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi Stock Exchange are different. So it means different stock exchange will have different listing requirements. Okay, so it is a listing requirement on Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange and Hanoi Stock Exchange. Okay, So you have to read it at home. So we usually have the requirement about the capital, the operating time, the profit of the company, the finance, the ownership, SN. Okay, so you see the listing requirement of Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange and Hà Nội Stock Exchange are different. For example, for the capital, Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange require a company who want to list their share on Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange have at least 120 billion đồng. However, for Hà Nội Stock Exchange, they require only 30 billion đồng. For the operating time, they have at least 2 years operate at a joint stock company. It is the listing requirement at a Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange. And for Hà Nội Stock Exchange, they require 1 year only. So you could see the differences between Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange and Hà Nội Stock Exchange listing requirement. Okay, so read it at home. And is a listing requirement for bond. It is in the previous slide, it is a stock listing requirement. However, in the next slide, you could find out the listing requirement for corporate bond. It is a listing procedure. It means when a company wants to list their stock, they have to submit the registration form to the stock exchange, and it is a listing procedure. And next one, we have the advantages and the disadvantages of listing. In fact, now remember, in fact, there are many joint stock companies who could satisfy the listing requirement. However, they don't want to list their stock on any stock exchange. They don't like. Why? Because listing on the stock exchange has the disadvantages. So you should read this slide and find out the advantages and the disadvantages of listing. Why there are some company they are really big and they could satisfy the listing requirement of the stock exchange. However, they decide not to list their stock on the stock exchange because they understand about the cost or the disadvantages of listing. However, you could see the advantages. There are a lot of advantages when a company lists their share on the stock exchange. So read the slide and find out the advantages and the disadvantages of listing and understand it. Okay. Got it? Any questions? Do you have any questions? So it is your work. You have to finish at home. Okay. So now we will take a break, and then when we come back, I will deliver the lectures on part 3, either trading mechanics or trading operation on the stock exchange. It's a very important part of this chapter. And remember, you will have 2 types of exercise here. Okay, take a break.
Yes. Cần điểm danh nhé. Phương Anh. Tuyết Anh.
Có.
Linh Chi.
Có.
Phương Giang.
Có.
Thu Hà.
Có.
Chu Hiền. Bùi Hiền.
Có.
Mai Hương. Mai Hương. Quốc Khánh.
Ê Văn Anh ơi, điểm danh qua tên tao cho mạng tao vừa bị lag.
Được rồi. Mai Hương rồi. Quốc Khánh.
Ok.
Trung Kiên.
Có.
Mai Liên.
Có.
Diệu Linh.
Có.
Quang Minh.
Có.
Kim Ngân.
Có.
Hy Ngọc.
Có.
Phương Nhi.
Có.
Anh Quân.
Có.
Đăng Thành. Anh Thư.
Có.
Thảo Trang.
Có.
Thanh Trúc.
Có.
Thanh Tùng. Thanh Tùng.
Chờ tí Tùng điểm. Chờ tí Tùng điểm đánh lại sau nó đang lag các bạn.
Ok. Thanh Yên.
Có.
Ngọc Mai. Ngọc Linh.
Có.
Công đoàn.
Có.
Okay, now we're back. Now, we were talking about the trading operation, and we will talk about some rules and some regulation on the stock exchange. And when you want to buy or sell the stock listed on the stock exchange, you have to follow the rules. You have to follow the rules and the regulation on the stock exchange. Now, firstly, I want to talk about the trading hours at Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange and Hanoi Stock Exchange. Why you should understand or why you should know about the trading hours at Hanoi Stock Exchange and Ho Chi Minh Stock Exchange. When you want to buy or sell the stock, you should know about the trading hours. For example, you want to buy one stock listed on Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange, and you see the clock, it is 2 p.m. So if you don't know about the trading hours at Hanoi, at Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange, so you couldn't know how to place order or what type of order you could place to buy this stock. If you know about the trading hour, you could see at 2 p.m. On Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange. At 2 p.m. we are in the continuous order matching session. So you will know what type of order you could place. You will know the mechanics or the ways that the order be met at this time. So you should know how to place order to be met at this time. Okay, so that's why you should know about the trading hour into stock exchange. Now, firstly, let's talk about the trading hours at Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange. There are three main sessions. You could see we have three main sessions here. In the session 1, we have the core market matching session to determine the opening price. It is a core market matching session to determine the opening price. Now it happens from 9 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. So remember, the core market matching session to determine the opening price happen in 15 minutes only, from 9 a.m. to 9:15. And from 9:15 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. we have the continuous order matching. Okay, we have the continuous order matching from 9 a.m. to 2:30. And in the core market matching session to determine the closing price, we have from the time for this session start from 2:30 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. So the trading hours at Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange. And about the arrangement trading, it is agreement trading. It starts from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So remember, at Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange, we have three main sessions. We have three main sessions here. In the first session, we have the core market matching session to determine the opening price. It starts from 9 a.m. to 9:15. And in the continuous order matching session, we have it starts from 9:15 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So it's very long time, right? You see the continuous order matching session is very long. It starts from 9:15 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. It's very long. And in the last 15 minutes before we closing the market will be closed at 2:45 p.m. So before 15 minutes before closing the market, 15 minutes, we have the core market matching session to determine the closing price. Okay, remember three main sessions at Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange. Now we come to Hanoi Stock Exchange and find out the difference. Now, in the trading hours at Hanoi Stock Exchange, what are difference? How many sessions do we have? How many main sessions do we have? We have just two. Yeah, we have just two sessions. We have just two sessions. Now, we don't have the core market matching session to determine the opening price at Hanoi Stock Exchange. Remember, at Hanoi Stock Exchange, we don't have the core market matching session to determine the opening price. So from 9 a.m. when the market is open, we have the continuous order matching. Now the continuous order matching happens from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And for the core market matching to determine the closing price, is start from 2:30 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. It is the core market matching session to determine the closing price. And about the arrangement trading, it's like at Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange from start from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Yeah, the time for the arrangement trading is like at Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange. So remember, we just have two main sessions at Hanoi Stock Exchange. We don't have the core market matching session to determine the opening price. Okay, so the trading hours at Hanoi Stock Exchange, you have to remember, because when we learn about the order, we will learn about 4 types of order. So when we learn about order, you see, you should remember the trading hours at Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange and Hanoi Stock Exchange. Okay, because X session here in the continuous order session or the core market session, core market matching session, we will have different type of order the investor could place. Okay, so now it is the trading procedure at Stock Exchange, both Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi Stock Exchange. It is a trading procedure. There are many steps here. Now you see in the first step, when you have the saving money, you have to open an account. When you have the saving money, you have to open an account. So where do you open an account? Where? You will open an account in a securities company. It means you have to come to the securities company and ask for opening account. Now, when you come to the securities company, so there will be one broker work with you. They will guide you how to open an account. When you have account in a securities company, you have to deposit money and securities. Now, if you want to buy some stock, you have to have money in your account. If you don't have money, you couldn't place order to buy securities. Or if you want to sell securities, you should have stock in your account. That's why you have to deposit money and deposit securities in your account. Okay, now when you have account, you could place order, you could make order, and then your order will be sent to the broker. Now remember this one, we have 3 and then we have 4. Okay, step 3 and step 4. Now step 3, when you make order, your order will be sent to the broker first. Your order couldn't be sent to the stock exchange directly. No. The stock exchange never work with the investor directly. Now you see the investor couldn't work directly with the stock exchange? No, never. There are lots of investors. We just have 2 stock exchange. So how the stock exchange work with investor directly? They couldn't. So remember, it is very important because many students make mistake here. They don't understand. When you buy or sell the stock, you couldn't place order directly to the stock exchange. The stock exchange never work with the investor directly. You got it? You got it, student? Why no one react? Now, one more time. Investor couldn't place order or couldn't make order directly to the stock exchange. Or the stock exchange never work directly with the investor. Okay, the stock exchange will work with the securities company, work with the broker. Okay, so when investor make order, the broker will receive the order of the investor and they have to check it. Now they have to check the order of investor. Okay, the broker will check the order of investor. And then when your order is correct, no mistake, your order will be sent to the stock exchange. The broker will send your order to the stock exchange and the stock exchange will match your order. Now, remember, only stock exchange have role or have function to match order and determine the matching price. Okay, now just in the trading mechanics only, if it is an agreement or agreement transaction, no, the stock exchange couldn't determine the price. In the agreement transaction, the stock exchange couldn't determine the matching price because the matching price are determined by the buyer and the seller. Okay.
Yes.
So now, when the stock exchange match order, they have the result, the order matching result. They will send the order matching result back to the broker. Now, you could see the step here. First one, the broker, after checking the order of investor, they will send the order to the stock exchange. And the stock exchange, they will match order and they send back the result to the broker. And then the broker will send the result to the investor. So that's why I said that the stock exchange, they never work with the investor directly. When they announce the result, they announce to the broker. And the broker will have roles to announce the trading result to investor. So the trading procedure. Okay. So now, in the first step, you have to open an account. You would come to the securities to open an account. And then you have to deposit money and deposit securities before making order to buy or sell securities. After depositing money and securities, you will make order. You will make order. Okay, and then your order will be sent to the broker. The broker, it is a securities company. Yeah, they could be the securities company. And the broker in the securities company will check your order. If your order is correct, they will send your order to the stock exchange. However, if your order has many mistakes, so they will return the order to you. You have to recheck your order and make other orders. Got it? And then the stock exchange will determine the result. The stock exchange have to determine the trading result, and they resend the result to the broker, and the broker will announce the result to the investor. So it's a trading procedure. It's a trading procedure on the stock exchange. You have to remember each step here. Okay. Now in the next slide, we have each step of the trading procedure here. So you have to read it. One more thing you have to pay attention here is the payment period, T+2. Now, we'll remember this one. The payment period. What is the payment period? T+2. We learned in the chapter 2 and 3, right? Now, what's the payment period? T+2. What is the meaning? Remember what the payment period T+2. T+2 means if you buy
Sau 2 ngày thì sẽ
If you buy stock after 2 days, you can receive stock in your account.
Yeah. So if you buy securities today, you have to wait two working days. 2 working days. Now remember, we just count the working day. Remember it? You have to count the working day only. If we have the holiday or we have the weekend, you have to skip it. So the payment period T+2 means when you buy or sell securities, after 2 working days, you will receive new buying securities or money in your account. Okay. Okay. So we talk more about each step here, each step in the trading procedure here. Now in the first step, opening an account. How many ways to opening an account? Any student in this class already have the securities account? Anyone?
Me.
So how to open an account?
I open account online transaction. Yeah.
Online. So how to open an account online?
I will come to website of the TCBS and I will list my information like name, list my information and take a photo of my take a photo, and I think it's easy. Just
give your private information, right?
yes.
And then you have to send the copy of your identification card to the securities company, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Vân Anh. So you see, there are many ways to open an account. You could come to the securities company directly. Yeah, you come to the securities company directly, and you open an account. So in the securities company, there will be a broker. They will work with you and they will guide you how to open an account. Or if you don't want to go out, you could stay at home and go to the website of the securities company and follow the instructions of the company to open an account. Okay, you have to provide your private information, and then you will send your documents to the securities company in order to open an account. It's a very easy way, right? So the first step. So do you know how many accounts could an investor open based on the Vietnamese law? How many accounts?
Each investor can open one security account at each security company.
That's good. Thank you, Chi. It means in one securities company, you could open only one account. However, you could come to other securities company and open an account. It means one investor could open many accounts at many securities company. However, they could open only one account in one securities company. For example, you already have account in the Rong Viet securities company. So just one, you couldn't open more account in this securities company. However, you could come to other securities company like FPT or VN Direct or SSI to open account. It's okay. So remember, the investor could open only one account in one securities company. However, they could open many accounts in many securities companies. Okay. And then when you have account, you will deposit money and the securities, and then you will place order. Yeah. You will place order or you will make order. Now, when you place order, your orders will be sent to the securities company, and then they will check your order and send to the stock exchange. Okay, and the stock exchange receive order from their member, their securities company, and they will match the order. Okay, so how many ways to place order? How many ways for investor to place order? Now, firstly, you could come to the securities company and place order directly. Now, if you come to the FPT securities company and place order directly, so it is the order slip. It's a buying slip order. So you will write down information here, write your name, write your account here, write the stock code, the quantities, the price, type of order you want to place, and then you will sign here, say the order slip. If you come to the securities company and place order directly. Okay, it means you have to finish this order slip and submit it to the broker in the securities company. And what else? Yeah, another method of placing order is online. It is the most popular way to place order now. You could stay at home, you could stay at office with the computer or the smartphone and the internet. You could place order online. You don't need to come to the securities company to make order directly. And online trading is the most popular way to give order now. Or you could call to your broker to place order, or you could contact with the broker to place order. You could take the message to your broker to place order. It's okay. Okay. However, the most popular way is online trading. It is online trading. So we talk a lot about the order. So what is order? And how many types of order do we have? So now we will talk about the order. What is order? Order is a requirement of the investor to the broker. Order is a requirement of the investor to the broker. There are 4 main types of order we will learn in this subject. We will learn about the limited order. We will learn about the ATO, ATC, and the market price order. Now let's talk about the limited order first. In Vietnamese, we call lệnh gì ạ? Giới hạn. It's a limited order. So what is a limited order? It is an order to buy or sell securities at the price that are equal to or better than the determined price. So what is the determined price? How to understand this definition? Now, remember the keyword. The limited order is an order to buy or sell securities at the price that are equal to or better than the determined price. Equal to or better than the determined price. So what is the determined price? Now, for example, if I place buying limited order, I will give one price. I will determine a price in my order. For example, I give the price 25,000 dong. Okay, 25,000 dong. So 25,000 dong, 25,000 dong is called determined price. It is called determined price. So determined price is just the price that investor give when they place limited order. Now remember, limited order is only type of order that investor give the price when they place order. For other type of order like ATO, ATC, or MB, the investor need to give the price. So limited order is only one type of order that investor will determine the price when they place order. Now, if I place buying limited order at 25,000 dong, so 25,000 dong is called determined price. Now, when I have determined price is 25,000 dong, it means I agree to buy this stock at 25,000 dong or higher or lower than. Now, you see the term equal to or better than the determined price. How to understand better than? Now, if you buy something, you want to buy at a low price or high price. When you buy something, you want to buy at high or low price?
Low.
Yeah, low price. So when you determine the price is 25,000 dong, it means you agree to buy this stock at 25,000 dong or higher or lower than 25,000 dong. Lower than 25,000 dong. Better than mean lower than the determined price because you are buying. When you want to buy something, you want to buy at a low price. So better than in the buying order mean lower than the determined price. However, if I place selling limited order and the determined price is 25,000 dong. Now 25,000 dong here is the determined price. Yeah, it is the determined price. What does it mean? It means I agree to sell, yeah, at 25,000 dong or higher than 25,000 dong because, yeah, when you want to sell something, you want to sell at higher price. Okay, you got it? So either buying and selling limited order. So what is the determined price? Now look at this one, the last line here. Determined price is the highest buying price or the lowest selling price that investor accept. Investor determine the price, and the determined price will be the highest buying price or the lowest selling price that investor accept. Okay, you got it?
Yes.
So now I give another example. If I place buying limited order and the price is $30, it's a $30. What does it mean? $30 is called $30 is a determined price. Now, so what is the meaning of determined price here? When I give the determined price is $30, it means I agree. Now, who can? Yeah, I agree to buy the stock at $30 or at a price that is lower than $30. Okay, thank you. And if I place selling limited order and the price is $45, what does it mean? If I place selling limited order and the price is $45, so you see the price $45 here is a determined price. Now, what does it mean? It means I agree. I
We
agree
to
what?
sell at 45 or higher.
Yeah, I agree to sell the stock at $45 or higher than $45. That's good. Okay, you got it. So now we come to the characteristic of the limited order. There are three main features of the limited order. First one, the investor orders a determined price. When investor place limited order, they agree. They have to determine the price. It is a determined price. The second feature, this order will be executed at the determined price or better. Better mean lower than the determined price if it is buying order, and higher than the determined price if it is selling order. And the last feature, no guarantees about the execution time. What does it mean? No guarantees about the execution time. What does it mean? It means if I place limited order and you place other type of order like ATO, ATC, or like MD, market price order, your order will be matched before my order. Now, one thing you have to remember here, limited order has lowest priorities to match in one session. Limited order has lowest priorities to be matched in one session. It means if I place limited order, you place other type of order like ATO, ATC, or MB, your order will be matched before my order. That's why the last features of the limited order is no guarantees about the execution time. limited order has lowest priorities to be met. Okay, so now when could investor place limited order? When or in which sessions could investor place limited order? Now, how many sessions do we have in Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange? How many? How many sessions do we have in Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange? Now come back to the
4
slide of
different.
the trading hour. How many?
4.
4. We just have 3 minutes. You couldn't count the arrangement trading because arrangement trading happen all the day. It is not called the sessions. Session mean in Vietnamese we call phiên giao dịch. The trading session, phiên giao dịch. You couldn't count the arrangement trading because arrangement trading happen all the trading days. It don't have the sessions. So at Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange, we have 3 main sessions. Now the first session, in the first 15 minutes, we have core market matching session to determine the opening price. And next one, we have the continuous order matching. And in the last 15 minutes before closing the market, we have core market matching session to determine the closing price. So now in which sessions investor could place limited order? In all sessions. It means at any time during the trading day, you could place limited order. Very easy, right? Now remember, in all sessions, you could use the limited order. You could use in the core market matching session, or you could use limited order in the continuous order matching session. Very, very easy, right? At Hanoi Stock Exchange, we have 2 main sessions. We have the continuous order matching session and we have the core market matching session. So in both sessions, you could place limited order. So the limited order is effective in any session. You got it? And one more thing you have to remember. Now, if you place limited order in one session and your order is not met, your order will be transferred to the next session automatically. Now, for example, at 9 a.m. when we open the market at Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange, you place a limited order. It is a buying limited order. And at 9:15 a.m., it is the end of the first session at Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange. It is the end of the core market matching session. Your order is not matched. This order is not matched. So after 9:15 a.m., the market changed to the continuous order matching session. Your order will be transferred to the continuous order matching session automatically. Why? Because limited order is effective in all sessions. So if in one session your order is not met, your order will be transferred to the next session automatically. You got it? Chỗ này các bạn hiểu không nhỉ? Nó nói không đứa nào phản ứng gì vậy? Hiểu thì nói là hiểu, mà không hiểu thì phải hỏi, thì để cô nói lại chứ.
Chưa hiểu lắm ạ.
Chưa loát được thì phải hỏi.
Vâng ạ.
Cô nói có nhanh không? Hơi nhanh nhỉ? Đây này, cô nói cô rất hay nhắc lại, và những cái nào quan trọng cô hay nhắc lại 2 đến 3 lần để cho các bạn nốt vào trong vở. Đúng không ạ? Thế ở đây nhá, cái limited order này, nó có một cái đặc điểm như thế này. Đầu tiên này, hai cái đặc điểm đầu tiên dễ rồi, cái đặc điểm thứ ba này nó hơi khó một chút. Đấy là nó sẽ không đảm bảo về cái khoảng thời gian thực hiện. Bởi vì sao? Trong tất cả các loại lệnh ý, thì limited order là cái loại lệnh mà nó có cái mức độ ưu tiên thấp nhất khi khớp lệnh. Tức là sao? Ví dụ nếu mà cô đặt limited order mà các bạn đặt loại lệnh khác, ví dụ như là ATO, ATC hay là lệnh MB ấy, thì lệnh của các bạn phải được thực hiện trước lệnh của cô. Đấy là nguyên tắc. Thế cho nên là tại sao cô lại nói là limited order thì có cái mức độ ưu tiên khi khớp lệnh. Limited order has the lowest priorities to be met. Đó, thứ tự ưu tiên thấp nhất khi mà khớp lệnh. Đúng không ạ? Rồi, thì đấy là cái đặc điểm. Tiếp này, khi nào thì nhà đầu tư có thể đặt lệnh limited order? Thì cô có hỏi các bạn là có bao nhiêu session, bao nhiêu phiên giao dịch ở Sở Hồ Chí Minh và Sở Hà Nội. Thì bạn thấy là Sở Hồ Chí Minh mình có 3 phiên chính, Hà Nội mình có 2 phiên. Nhưng thực tế ra ấy, đó là về nguyên tắc khớp lệnh thì mình chỉ có 2 cái kiểu khớp thôi, đấy là core market matching là khớp lệnh định kỳ, và continuous order matching là khớp lệnh gì? Liên tục. Thế thì cái limited order này nó có hiệu lực trong tất cả các phiên. Tức là nhà đầu tư có thể đặt cái lệnh này ở phiên nào cũng được. Nó sẽ khác so với các loại lệnh mà về sau mình sẽ học nhé. Một số loại lệnh chỉ được đặt ở trong một số phiên, không phải phiên nào cũng được đặt đâu. Nếu các bạn đặt lệnh sai phiên ấy, thì khi mà công ty chứng khoán người ta check cái lệnh của các bạn, người ta sẽ trả về luôn. Cái lệnh không được chuyển vào hệ thống đâu. Thế còn đối với lệnh limited order này thì các bạn đặt lúc nào, phiên nào nó cũng chấp nhận. Đó. Thế thì như vậy là các bạn có thể đặt lệnh này ở trong phiên core market matching session hoặc là continuous order matching session đều được. Thế thì cái này nó có một cái như thế này nữa, đó là nhá, vì là cái lệnh LO này nó có hiệu lực trong tất cả các phiên. Thế cho nên là khi mà nó gì ạ? Khi mà nó không được thực hiện. Khi mà nó không được thực hiện thì sao ạ? Cái lệnh này sẽ được tự động chuyển sang phiên tiếp theo. Cái này là thị trường tự động chuyển. Trừ khi là các bạn thực hiện gì thôi, hủy lệnh. Còn nếu mà các bạn vẫn vẫn để lệnh thì lệnh nó vẫn được tự động chuyển sang các phiên sau. Đây là ví dụ vào lúc 9 giờ nhá. Được không ạ? Vào lúc 9 giờ này, cô đặt một lệnh mua, lệnh LO. Thế thì vào lúc 9 giờ 15 thì là hết phiên đầu tiên của Sở Hồ Chí Minh đúng không? Hết phiên core market matching session đúng không ạ? Vì core market matching session là bắt đầu từ 9 giờ đến 9 giờ 15. 9 giờ 15 hết phiên, một cái là chuyển luôn sang phiên liên tục, phiên continuous order matching. Thế thì cái lệnh buying LO này của cô là chưa được khớp. Thế thì khi mà thị trường chuyển sang continuous order matching ấy, thì nó sẽ chuyển luôn cả cái lệnh này của cô sang luôn. Tức là lệnh này của cô được tự động chuyển sang các phiên sau. Trừ khi là cô tiến hành gì ạ? Hủy lệnh. Bạn hình dung không ạ? Thế thì nếu mà ở trong cái phiên mà continuous order matching mà lệnh của cô vẫn không được gì, vẫn tiếp tục không được khớp thì sao? Thì sao ạ? Nó sẽ tự động chuyển sang phiên gì? Phiên cuối cùng. Phiên cuối cùng là phiên gì? Core market matching to determine the closing price. Tóm lại là nó sẽ được tự động chuyển sang các phiên sau cho đến hết ngày giao dịch, hoặc là cho đến hết cái định chuẩn lệnh mà các bạn ghi nha. Khi mà các bạn đặt lệnh ấy thì nó sẽ có một cái phần đó là định chuẩn lệnh. Ví dụ các bạn đặt một cái lệnh LO mà các bạn để định chuẩn lệnh là 3 ngày. Thì tức là gì? Lệnh của các bạn sẽ tồn tại 3 ngày. Hoặc là tồn tại cho đến khi mà nó được khớp. Hoặc là tối đa là 3 ngày. Tức là nếu mà ngày đầu tiên nó không được khớp thì nó chuyển sang ngày thứ hai. Ngày thứ hai mà không được khớp thì chuyển sang ngày thứ ba. Hết ngày thứ ba mà không được khớp thì mới hủy. Đấy là nếu mà khi mà các bạn đặt lệnh kèm theo điều kiện ấy, là định chuẩn lệnh. Thế còn nếu mà khi mà các bạn đặt lệnh mà không có điều kiện gì, tức là không có định chuẩn lệnh thì sao? Thì chỉ hết ngày giao dịch là lệnh của bạn bị hủy thôi. Vì lệnh đấy nó chỉ có hiệu lực trong ngày giao dịch thôi. Bạn hình dung được không ạ? Thế thì với cái lệnh LO này rất là dễ tính ở chỗ là các bạn đặt phiên nào được. Nó có hiệu lực trong tất cả các phiên. Và nếu mà nó không được khớp thì nó tự động chuyển sang phiên sau. Các bạn hình dung được không ạ? Nguyên nhân của cái việc là nó tự động chuyển sang phiên sau đó là vì là nó có hiệu lực trong tất cả các phiên. Thế mấy nữa buổi sau mình sẽ học về ATO, ATC nhá, thì nó không như thế đâu. Vì ATO, ATC nó chỉ có hiệu lực trong một phiên, cho nên nó sẽ không được chuyển sang phiên sau. Đó, nó dựa vào đặc điểm của lệnh. Các bạn hình dung được không ạ? Cái này các bạn phải rất hiểu thì mình mới làm được bài tập khớp lệnh nhá. Vì nếu mà các bạn không hiểu về lệnh thì không làm được bài tập khớp lệnh đâu. Bài tập khớp lệnh là các bạn phải nhớ nguyên tắc, follow theo đúng nguyên tắc và phải hiểu về lệnh thì mình mới làm được bài tập khớp lệnh. Rõ chưa cả lớp?
Vâng ạ.
Ok, thế thôi, nay mình học thế thôi, nghỉ thôi. Nay mình cũng học khá nhiều thứ rồi đúng không ạ? Cái phần nào